Well, not even the break. You give me a break and tell me when it's going to get cool.
I am the break. All right,
Yeah.
Here we go. And we are finally getting a break from the rainfall that we've had this weekend. Bulk of it is now moving on. We've had a few little light sprinkles still nearby, and there is still a stationary boundary off to our west. But the good news is it does look like we're going to get a little bit and enough of a push to get this front through, helping to lower the humidity, albeit a little, for Monday and going into Tuesday. It should feel a little bit nicer. Maybe not that fall chill we've been waiting on, but it is something. And that drier air is not too far away from us. That will start moving in probably not until late Monday, and with it a little bit more of a comfortable feel. Our mornings will be a little bit cooler and daytime highs while still running above normal. Consider the normal high is 72, 73 degrees going into the rest of this week. And so we are still running above that. However, if we can keep us out of the 80s, it'll feel a whole lot nicer. Short-lived. Moisture starts coming back late Tuesday and into early Wednesday morning, and Wednesday looking to be a wetter day. In fact, the Weather Prediction Center placing us under a low-end threat for some isolated street flooding. Again, that is Wednesday. Another front, though, for Thursday. Light rainfall, as I mentioned, on radar right now, and that is about it. Got some decent rain coverage across the area today, and thankfully rainfall amounts were manageable. Out in the tropics, we've already had the last advisory on Raphael. That was at 3 o'clock, so we will no longer have advisories from the Hurricane Center as the remnants will continue moving farther south into the southern Gulf as it eventually just dissipates, taking with it all of that rainfall. What helped to rip the storm apart was, as promised, the dry air and increasing wind shear. And notice the flow in the upper atmosphere out of the west. That's helping to take that little pocket of moisture associated with Raphael and move it away from us. And it's also this westerly flow that will help to move that weak front through the area sometime late Monday into Tuesday. Again, the air mass is coming in from the west. So this isn't exactly a cooler air mass, but a little bit less humid. What I'm waiting for is this, not a particularly deep trough, but enough of an upper trough that will bring in a real cold front for the end of the week. Now, this is not really tapping into Canadian temperatures and driving them to the deep south. The coldest of the air will remain to our north, but it is going to be enough to help knock those temperatures down. But as I mentioned, the normal high this time of year is now 72, 73 degrees. So over the next 6 to 10 days, we're still running above normal. But these graphics can be kind of misleading. It just shows the high likelihood of us staying warmer than average. It doesn't say anything about how much above average. Definitely staying below, or definitely staying above average, but at least we'll be back into the 70s, and the humidity will be lower. So behind that first front, drop in humidity for Tuesday. It increases Wednesday, another chance of rain, and then good feel air arrives Thursday, and in particular Friday and on into Saturday. Mostly cloudy skies outside right now with a dew point of 72, our current reading of 74. Probably not going to cool too much more through the overnight. Today's at least stayed in the 70s, but that was because of the cloud cover and rainfall. Some upper 60s, Bogalusa and Macomb, otherwise in the 70s, and dew points in the 70s. But I'd said the dry air is not too far away. Shreveport has a dew point of 61, Tyler, Texas at 59, 47 in Dallas. And I do think we will get into some of that drier air late on Monday and into Tuesday. Winds, a little bit of a breeze, but a little bit stronger offshore. We will have to wait until early tomorrow morning for the coastal flooding to finally start to abate. It has not been a big deal, but we have been seeing the levels running at about 1 to 2 feet above high tide, and high tide is generally in the early morning hours. So after high tide tomorrow morning, we will start to see those water levels coming down. 80 degrees are high on Veterans Day and relatively dry. Keep a mention of about a 20% chance. I think we'll clear out Tuesday with some clouds, rainfall rolling back in late Tuesday and into Wednesday. Then the front moves through. Again, maybe not exactly a fall feel, but morning lows will be dropping into the 50s and 60s and afternoon highs in the 70s.